Well, I'm heading away from camp. Yeah, it was a good spot actually. I feel a bit tired this morning actually. I think yesterday was just so hot and draining that I'm just feeling it a bit. So today's plan is to get to Holsworthy. I think there's a campsite there. Quite fancy a shower. It's about 40 miles. In fact, if I do 3 40-mile days, that gets me home. So that should be doable. So yeah, I'm just going to try and get a bit of breakfast somewhere if I can. But anyway, let's see what today brings. It is very beautiful along here, this valley. Bit of a find, really. Now, I think there's some horses up here. Hi, hello. I don't know what happened to the horses. There was a big herd of them ahead of me. They've obviously gone up into the hills, I guess. Well, it's been a very pleasant start to the morning, actually. These woods are lovely. Apart from all the gates, there's a fair few gates to open and close. Right, well, I think that's the last big climb for Exmoor. Pretty sure after this I'm out of the park and descending. So I'd half thought about camping up here, but I'm glad I didn't now. It's much better where I camped in the valley. There's not much water here, and it's right by a road. So yeah, that was a good decision last night. I was thinking last night, I'm not sure if I did a proper update about Matt. It was Loch Ossian, wasn't it? We were talking about it. I don't know if I ever explained what happened. So really quickly, Matt had really bad sciatica, and the morning at Loch Ossian he couldn't really even get out of bed, couldn't put his clothes on, so we had to call it really. Yeah, he couldn't carry on. So we got the train to Glasgow on a Saturday night, which was quite weird. Stayed at a Premier Inn, hired a car, and I drove him down to Bristol airport to return the car, and his wife picked him up there, and then I got my stuff together and carried on my own. Did hear from him yesterday. His back's really not great, so it was the right call. He couldn't have gone on. Yeah, missing him. It's not quite the same on my own. It's fine, you know, I'm enjoying it, but I might have said in previous videos, I work on my own, I ride on my own a lot, so I'm probably the opposite to some people in that I quite like sharing the experience with other people, which is why I normally do stuff with somebody else. And hopefully Matt's on the mend. Get well soon, dude. Oh, I just stopped for some lunch in a place called Landkey, which is just outside Barnstable. Stopped in a pub and had ham, egg and chips, just a small portion. So yeah, I feel fed now, which is good. Well, I just met my first GBDivide rider going in the opposite direction. First one since I left Matt in Bristol. Yeah, on a gravel bike. So I think he said he wasn't doing the Wales section. He's done it before, so yeah, he's at the start of his journey for sure. So good luck to him. I haven't been filming too much because all these lanes are just the same, you know. It's very roady, this bit from Bristol. I don't know, 85% on road, I guess. This main road into Torrington is the most unsafe I've felt the whole trip. It's horrible. Really horrible. Oh, I made it in one piece. That was a pretty terrifying bit of road, actually. Really glad to get off of that. I'm glad there isn't many bits like that. Well, I have to say the road into Torrington and the road out is really unpleasant, actually. I know I'm doing it the opposite way to the normal course, but yeah, really not nice. It's the worst bit of the whole trip, actually, in terms of just traffic and close passes and busy. Really think they could have done a bit better route choice than that, to be honest. I haven't looked at the map properly, but there must be a better way in and out than that. Anyway, back on quiet roads again now, and heading to the campsite now at Holsworthy. Well, I think I'm a couple of miles away from the campsite. Oh, I'm genuinely knackered, actually. It's such a hot day. Yeah, it just saps you, doesn't it? It's been kind of a weird day, really. There's some beautiful places, but just been all road except for the first couple of miles this morning. That's not necessarily bad, but a lot of it's been high hedged sort of, you know, country lanes, so can't really see a lot, and also it's very hot. Where we are now is much nicer. It's a bit more open, you know, there's a bit more of a breeze, you can see things, you know. Anyway, not a complaint, just observation. So yeah, anyway, let's get to the campsite. Hopefully there's a space. Even better if they sell beers and ciders. Maybe, you never know. Right, morning. Just a little video of where I stayed. It was Headon Farm, just outside Holsworthy. Really nice spot. Quite quiet actually. It's mainly a caravan park, but they do take tents, and I had this whole field to myself. Just literally just about to set off. Just got to take the tent down. Yeah, really comfortable night's sleep. Slept really well. I was utterly knackered last night, and this is my view out the door. So yeah, pretty good really. It's another baking hot day. It's gonna be another tough one. Anyway, let's get packed up and get on the road. Well, we're heading away from camp. I've got a bit of a headache actually this morning. Taking some tablets. I don't know if it's just from yesterday. The last couple of days, just a bit dehydrated maybe. Felt like I drank enough, but maybe not. Anyway, took some tablets. Hopefully that'll go in a minute. As you can see, it's another very warm day. I think looking at the weather, tomorrow when I get home in the evening, it might end in the rain, which is great. I'd always love that. Anyway, we'll worry about that tomorrow. I'm heading for a campsite the other side of Bodmin today. Well, it's been a nice, mellow, flattish start to the day so far, which is nice. Considering the heat, hoping it's not as hilly as yesterday. I can't see how it will be. It's always nice to have a bit of a nice warm up in the morning before any massive hills. Right, well this bridge is the River Tamar. And just here should be back in Cornwall. In fact, there's the sign. Back in the homeland. Doesn't look on the map like I'm passing anywhere for food for, I don't know, a long time. But you never know. It might be a little cafe or farm shop or something. Probably going to stop for a bite to eat in a minute. Done 20 miles just about, so it must be lunchtime. Well, there's Bodmin Moor in front of us. This is Davidstow Moor, kind of on the edge of Bodmin Moor. Hello sheep, how you doing? So in front of us, sort of the left-hand peak, is Brown Willie. That's the highest place in Cornwall. And Row Tor is on the right. The reservoir on the left there, Crowdy Reservoir I think it's called. And there's an airstrip down in the distance. I'm pretty sure it's an airstrip. Yeah, obviously that airstrip is disused. There's quite a lot of sheep on it, and cars and all sorts. Don't think anyone's landing on there anytime soon. It looks like it might have been an old Second World War strip or something. There's quite a lot of concrete bunkers and buildings. Oh, it smells so piney here. Quite nice and refreshing. Oh, the town on your right, down in the dip there, that's Camelford. Famous for the water pollution incident many years ago. Yeah, this is all sort of familiar home territory for me now, from here down. Some nice lanes around here. Nice and cool as well, actually. Not a lot of traffic on these ones as well, which is good. Not like the ones in Devon where they're all enclosed. They're a bit more open and airy, which is good. Well, I found myself on the Camel Trail, which is somewhere I've ridden before, although not from this end. I rode it with my wife Emma a few years back from just a bit further down in Bodmin. So I've not ridden this top section. One positive is this trail is about the flattest trail in the world. I think when we rode it we did like 30 miles and it was 25 foot of elevation. So I've got a nice easy 8 miles coming up until I turn off. It's a very popular trail actually, especially in the summer. A lot of families ride it. Expect I'll see a few people. But yeah, happy days, easy riding for a bit. Today's been pretty easy actually. Haven't had any really big hills. Not like the last couple of days. So it's nice to have a bit of a rest really. Yeah, this trail is an old railway line that goes to Padstow. And if you're in Cornwall and you want a nice easy ride and to a nice destination, I'd highly recommend it. It's a good one, especially if you've got young kids or if you're not a big rider. It's a nice, pleasant, easy trail. And I think there's a cider farm en route as well. Cornish Orchard. I think their orchard is on this route somewhere. I remember passing it before. I've been wondering why it's so quiet. Normally this place is packed with people. Of course, the Euro football tournament's on at the moment, and England are playing in half an hour, so I guess that's why there's no one around. All at home watching the football. So there's also a steam train line that runs along here. Hello, pussycat. What you doing? Right, this is my turn off. Well, I'm at the campsite, Rutherford Valley I think it's called, just outside of Bodmin. Got my ice lolly and I've got a beer, cold beer for later. So all is good in the world. Just going to go and find somewhere to pitch the tent and then relax. Seen loads of squirrels today. This is my camp spot last night. It's actually called Ruthen Valley campsite, just outside of Bodmin. Been really nice actually. It's a great site, pretty quiet, good facilities. Yeah, I had a pleasant night here. So I'm just getting packed up and setting off on the last day. Should be home tonight. Right, so I'm away from the campsite. Yeah, final day. In a few miles I'll be back on my, what I consider to be my local trails. I've decided I'm not going to Land's End, obviously, because Matt's not with me. So I'm probably going to deviate from the official trail around Carnbray, probably Bisso. There's a nicer route that I ride quite a lot, so I'll take that home. So I'm heading for a town called Hayle. Yeah, it didn't seem right to go to Land's End without Matt. We'll come back and finish it another time and finish it properly. So that's the plan for today. Well, we're coming up on a place called Cornwall Services. It was they put a new dual carriageway in a few years ago, and this service area sprang up afterwards. I'm going to just maybe get a coffee and a pastry or something there. See how it is. If not, I'm passing through a few villages today, so pretty sure I can get some food there. Okay, so I stopped in the services actually. Had a coffee and a almond croissant. That was nice. Just had to negotiate a bit of a busier bit of road. Well, since we're off-road, it seems like a good time to talk about the route. This is the first off-road I've been on for a couple of days, maybe more, since Exmoor I think. I mean, if you don't include the Camel Trail, which is not on the road, but it's paved, I guess. Anyway, that's a nice bit. I've just been trying to put my finger on what I've been feeling the last few days, and I've just been a bit uninspired. A bit fed up with riding on the road constantly. It's not my favourite thing. I'm not trying to be negative about it, it's just my honest opinion. It's all road, and I don't like that very much, and there's a few unpleasant bits of road as well. I mean, this is lovely. St Clement's Wood, I think it's called. Haven't been here before. But yeah, my general feeling is I probably wouldn't want to ride this route again from the south, from Exmoor west. I will, because I want to finish it with Matt at some point. But yeah, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't want to do it again. Too roady for me. So the next stop is Truro. I think I'm only a couple of miles from it now. I might try and get some lunch there. If not, I'll wait till the Bisso Trail. I know there's a cafe there. Hello squirrel. The first squirrel of the day. Well, we're just passing the outskirts of Truro. Not going through the town today. Well, I got my first pasty since I got back in Cornwall. It's not the best, but it'll do. Well, I got a pasty and a drink. I feel a bit more energised now. I think I just needed to eat something. I was feeling really sort of just a bit weak there for a while. Anyway, on the way to the Bisso Trail now. And that really is my home trails. Well, we're about to drop into the Bisso Trail. There's a cafe there. I think I'm going to stop for a coffee and a bit of cake if they're still open. Need a little bit more energy, I think. Well, I just stopped at Bon Appetit, a cafe that we use quite a lot, because we ride around here a lot. I think this is called the Mineral Tramway Trail. This is all old mine workings and tramways and stuff, where they got all the rock and the ore out. It's changed a lot over the last couple of decades. when I was a kid growing up, this whole area was just like a wasteland, which was quite good fun when you were a kid, but it has been tidied up a lot. Right, well, the rain has hit. I thought it would. It's supposed to come in at about 3 or 4, and it's about 4, so looks like the last hour and a half is going to be wet, which in a way is kind of fitting, isn't it? You know how I love getting wet at the end of the ride, but the difference is this time I'm going home, so I can just go in the shower and it doesn't matter. We're kind of heading up to Cambrai now. That's the sort of high point. Then I'm going to take a slightly different route home, which does involve a little bit more climbing, but it keeps me off the road. I'm fed up of being on the road, to be honest. So yeah, that's my plan. Right, well, it's absolutely hammering it down now. Probably won't film a lot more. Can't really see much. Yeah, who knows, maybe it'll stop, but it looks like it's in now. I guess I'm about an hour from home, so it's not the end of the world. I've had a slight change of plans. I think I'm just going to take the most direct route home now that it's raining. I don't think there's any point in making the ride any longer. It's pretty wet, so yeah, I think we'll go straight home. So this is my old playground when I was a kid. We were always up on these mines. Most of the mine shafts were open in those days as well, which was quite good fun. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting place actually. Once the, well, not the hub of the world I guess, but one of the hubs of the Industrial Revolution anyway. Right, I had to do a slight detour for you. Wanted to show you this. It's hard to read it. I've got photos actually. I'll put a photo on the screen. Pasco shaft. There you go. Make of that what you will. Well, I'm just cutting across some local trails at the moment. A little bit overgrown actually. Well, I'm less than a mile from home. Really wet. It's been raining non-stop for the last couple of hours. Oh, this has been trimmed back since I left. Apart from the car that's half car, half plant. And there we are, back in Hayle, my hometown. I just live down the road here, it's not very far, half a mile. So that's it for me for today. I will see you tomorrow, or whenever it's dry enough to do a video in the garden.